In LA this week,
a major Los Angeles hospital has agreed to pay nearly $500,000 in penalties following accusations of patient dumping. I'm Gil Reyes with more on how the city attorney's office hopes other LA hospitals take note.
I'm Anna Marcos. The LA Valley College Job Training Program is giving veterans and laid-off workers a new chance at a career. More on that coming up.
I'm Rasha Goel. Up next, how artwork is helping connect and enhance a local community.
hello and welcome to LA This Week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Yana Kay. A $50,000 reward now on the line for anyone who helps police catch the killers of a young father in LA's Westlake neighborhood. Anna Marcos has more on the fatal stabbing.
It was a crime caught on surveillance cameras last June, and the video is alarming. It shows 3 suspects circling as 23-year-old Oscar Lazo enters a liquor store near Union and Beverly in the Westlake neighborhood west of downtown L.A. The reported suspects then wait for Lazo to come out, caught at close range by one of the surveillance cameras. When Lazo reappears, they close in with weapons.
One suspect approached the victim. He produced what we believe is a large stick, possibly wooden sword, struck the victim in the upper torso. Suspect number 2 approached the victim and also stabbed him with the unknown sharp object in the upper torso.
Lazo starts to run, and the chase is on. He later collapses on the street, and the suspects take off in a getaway car. Now, more than 10 months later, with leads gone cold, police and city leaders are offering a $50,000 reward for information that helps catch Lazo's alleged killers. Lazo was a father and a son, and his family is pleading for the public to come forward.
I also hope that anyone who's watching who has a conscience, who knows something about what happened, can turn in that information of what they know.
We believe that these suspects reside in the community. That's why it's a little tougher when they live, when they live in the community, for someone to come forward and provide information.
Police are unclear whether the suspects knew the victim or whether the murder was gang-related. What they do know is they would like to question the 3 men caught on the surveillance cameras. They got away in a car that has been described as a dark gray Nissan Altima, 2006 or 2007, with dark rims, tinted windows, and a sunroof. Lazo was pronounced dead on the scene, and although finding his killers won't bring him back, his family wants justice, and they would like to know why. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
If you have any information, call the LAPD at 800-222-TIPS or 800-222-8477. While the anniversary of what many call the Armenian genocide is marked by renewed violence in that region over disputed territory. As Gil Reyes reports, LA's Armenian American leaders are calling for support from the U.S.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
The regional archbishop of the Armenian Church leads a prayer at this news conference at the Universal Hilton, a prayer to mark a solemn occasion.
When Armenians around the world commemorate the memory of the victims of genocide,
April marks the 101st anniversary of what many historians acknowledge as the Armenian genocide, a term to describe the massacre and deportations of 1.5 million Armenians by Ottoman Turks. But to this day, Turkey rejects the term genocide, claiming there was never a deliberate attempt to wipe out all Armenian people during the war. President Obama has also refrained from using the G word, many say for fear of offending Turkey, our allies. The controversy continues.
But this year it has special poignance and special importance because the Armenian people are under threat yet again.
LA City Councilman Paul Krikorian, an Armenian American, is referring to recent conflict in that region over the disputed territory of Nagorno-Karabakh. Armenia says it's theirs, but Armenia's neighbor, Azerbaijan, also lays claim. The violence, which included the shooting down of an Azerbaijani helicopter, has killed at least 30 soldiers on both sides in recent months. Fighting is said to be the worst since war between both nations formally ended in 1994. Councilman Krikorian says he hopes the U.S. takes steps to protect the Armenian people in their latest challenge. Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Councilman Paul Krikorian also happens to be the first Armenian American to be elected to the Los Angeles City Council. Well, it's a meeting of the labor minds at the LA Trade Technical College. Rasha Goel has more on how city, state, and national leaders are congregating to help improve American lives.
Actress Adrienne Moore from Orange is the New Black describes how being a union member has made a difference in her own career and how collective bargaining protects the workers who keep LA running.
And I think this is where it starts. This is where we hear the opinions and the suggestions and the challenges that each of the labor unions are facing.
And it all starts at this Labor Workers Summit, recently held at the LA Trade Technical College, where labor leaders, state and city officials, and employers came together to talk about building an economy that works for everyone.
I need your help so that we can indeed continue this unfinished business of building an economy that works in every zip code for every person and for every single issue.
LA Mayor Eric Garcetti shared how workers in Los Angeles have fought for and won fair wages, paid leave, and safeguarding the right to bargain collectively. Last year, Los Angeles increased its minimum wage to $15, leading 6 other cities in LA County to raise their wages too.
The work that we're doing to make sure that the $15 an hour wasn't just something that was the minimum wage, but today people already earn at places like the airport, when SEIU and the city joined together with USWW to make sure that those workers who greet 75.5 million people who come into America through Los Angeles can have the very best service, and those people can have lives that have meaning.
And when it comes to that quality of life, Vincent Luke, an employee of a company that designs and manufactures rail cars, talks about the benefits of union membership.
For me, as Los Angeles Black Workers Center member, I now have a respectable, good paying job, which improves the quality of my life, my family's life, and I can testify the quality of life of my coworkers and their families has improved as a result as well.
And at this labor summit, a hopeful future for every working Angelino begins with an open conversation. I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
Officials say California has been leading the way on several issues that matter to working families, including raising the minimum wage and expanding paid family leave. While another local hospital is accused of improperly releasing a patient in need, and it's gonna cost them. Gil Reyes has more from Good Samaritan Hospital. Gil.
Yes, Yana, very important to point out that Good Samaritan Hospital here in Los Angeles has denied the accusations, however, has agreed to pay $450,000 worth in penalties and homeless services as part of a legal settlement in response to the accusations.
Flashback to 2006. Surveillance cameras capture a mentally ill patient wandering aimlessly on Skid Row, soon after her release from Kaiser Permanente in Bellflower. Today, another hospital stands accused of the same crime. It's called patient dumping.
It is a highly respected hospital in our region. And when we brought this matter to the attention of Good Samaritan, it immediately sought to cooperate with us.
Though Good Samaritan denies abandoning helpless patients on the street, it's agreed to a settlement, $450,000, a chunk to be donated to a local nonprofit that helps the homeless find housing. The LA City Attorney's Office says the latest dumping victim was homeless, discovered in Echo Park after he was released from Good Samaritan Hospital for a foot injury in late 2014.
We had heard about him and seen him on the street, and he was visibly sick. You could tell he was injured, and managers and store owners and neighbors wanted help from him, and so we approached him.
The settlement also calls on Good Samaritan to follow strict guidelines for patient discharge from now on.
Hospitals should have pre-existing relationships with locations to which one can be discharged for recuperative care in a dignified way. Only in a very last resort should someone be discharged to a homeless shelter, for example, let alone to the street with no recuperative care plan whatsoever.
But hospital officials say they're struggling. With limited resources and homelessness on the rise, it's becoming increasingly difficult to accommodate the needs of the homeless and mentally ill. But LA City Attorney Mike Fuhrer says that's no excuse.
If this problem is going to continue, our office is going to continue to be vigorous in combating it.
In the Westlake District, Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Meantime, LA City Attorney Mike Fuhrer continues litigation against Gardens Regional Hospital in Hawaiian Gardens. That hospital also accused of patient dumping. The case could go to trial this fall. While this free career training is giving some jobless Angelenos new work opportunities, Ana Marcos has more on the Workforce Training Program, a partnership between LA Valley College and the City of LA.
Gowning up is a key part of the job for a biotech worker, and these trainees are getting their first and somewhat challenging lesson.
We have to hold our hands like this just to pretty much keep our hands sterile.
Depending upon the product and depending upon the company you are working with, sometimes you have 3 layers of gowning.
The 6-week, 200-hour training is part of the Workforce Training Program, a joint effort by the LA Valley College and the City of LA. Students can choose from one of 2 career paths, the Manufacturing Academy or the Biotechnology Academy. Staff workers tell us why the training is so successful.
We have found the best benefit to do is short-term vocational training based on employers' needs. So all of our training starts with employers, and we work on our curriculum and customized curriculum to meet their needs.
The program is free, but only military vets and laid-off workers are eligible. The students regularly find jobs with the program's industrial partners like Baxter and Grifols Biologicals, 2 huge biotech companies, as well as manufacturing companies throughout the valley.
I manufacture intravenous immune globulins. I'm very proud of what we do. Our company saves and improves lives every day on a global scale.
The students in this part of the program are not guaranteed jobs, but they are guaranteed interviews, and 85 to 90% of them end up with jobs and a career.
It really does give me hope, for my future. I look at this as something that I can, pretty much do for the rest of my life. I would like to move up in this career, in this field.
I'm a veteran I'm new to LA, and I found an opportunity that would be able to utilize my military experience.
And they go from one level to another, and these are really careers, not merely jobs.
So we got free training and 90% chance of getting a job.
Sounds like a formula for success. Organizers hope to eventually expand the program to allow more students to become eligible. I'm Ana Marcos for LA This Week.
For more information, visit lavcjobtraining.org. Well, firefighters at LAX have new weapons in their arsenal in case fire erupts in and around the aircraft. Gil Reyes has more from Fire Station 80. Gil.
Well, Yana, you are looking at them. 6 new advanced rescue firefighting apparatus, and fire officials say they are specifically equipped with tools to handle fires here at the airport.
The vehicles specialize in battling fast-moving fuel fires on grounded airplanes. Fires like this one that erupted accidentally in LAX back in 2009.
They are quite different than a regular fire truck. So a regular fire truck carries 500 gallons of water. These carry 3,000, 6 times the amount.
LAX receives the latest, most advanced aircraft rescue firefighting vehicles, or ARFs for short. The airport used to have 4 ARFs, now they have 6. More backup in case of multiple fires here.
They get out of quarters very fast. They're faster than our old apparatus. The reliability is way up because the old apparatus were getting old and required a lot of maintenance.
LA City Fire Chief Ralph Terrazas says ARFs have firefighting tools that typical fire trucks don't have, like 54-foot-long booms. These booms can pierce into planes like a needle, then maneuver in hard-to-reach spaces like a surgical scope. The vehicles are also equipped with powerful fire suppression agents like Halitron and Purple K. These agents can douse fuel fires quickly, but could also be harmful to people and electronics. Our firefighters are trained to use them with caution. 16 our firefighters are stationed at LAX at all times, and they're not alone.
There's 3 other fire stations that surround this airport. that do the emergency medical services, the hazardous materials, urban search and rescue, and homeland security. So yes, we believe, and LAO has supported us, that we are as safe as we've ever been.
The 6 new ARFs cost around $800,000 each, a bargain according to fire officials. At LAX, Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
The old vehicles will be deployed to Ontario and Van Nuys airports. Well, research shows that women make government more transparent, inclusive, and accessible, but too few women serve. Rasha Goel has more on a training program that's helping empower women to be prolific in the public office space.
If you are in it for the right reasons, you can truly make a difference. And I think that's really what stands out in terms of being a woman and being in politics, because that is what we care about.
Assemblymember Ling Chang was among the panelists at the Ready to Run campaign training, which provides tools and encourages women to run for public office. The event was sponsored by Mount St. Mary's University.
This is a nonpartisan campaign training program for women, and it is both women that are ready to run and some of our students who are almost ready to run or thinking about a career in public service.
Attendees received insightful information from elected officials, appointed individuals in public office, and those serving on boards and commissions throughout California. The goal? To empower women to run for office and have representation in state legislature and beyond.
Women currently in the legislature only make up about 25% of the state legislature, but they are 50% of the population.
It's also said women need a little more of a push when it comes to running for public office. California is currently ranked 20th in the nation for women's representation in elected office.
What the research shows us is that women often have to be asked several times to run for office, whereas a man generally has to be asked once and he'll run for office.
Hopes are that will all change. Ready to Run is held by the university once a year. I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
For more information on the program and other training sessions, log on to msmu.edu. Well, the LA City Library hopes a little street cred will go a long way in luring more youth through its doors. Gil Reyes reports on new limited edition library cards created by one of LA's famous street artists.
World-renowned street artist Shepard Fairey reveals the new look of LA City Library cards, a look he co-designed.
It's an incredible honor for me because I really believe in what the library does. The library embodies the principles of education, equality, empowerment.
Fairey collaborated with fellow artist Cleon Peterson to create the work. It's an image of LA Central Library in downtown. People can use the free library cards to check out books and so much more.
E-comics, e-magazines. You can take an online course. You can even get an accredited online high school diploma through the library.
Shepard Fairey is perhaps best known for his Barack Obama Hope poster, seen everywhere during the 2008 presidential campaign. Also famous, Fairey's Obey Giant street art. The original sticker depicting wrestling icon Andre the Giant became a counterculture hit nearly 30 years ago. Today, the man who gained fame as an underground artist doesn't mind working within the mainstream to lure more youth to the library.
I come from a very outsider standpoint with street art, punk rock, skateboarding. You do everything you can to change the world to be better, and when you don't have access to the system itself, then you work outside of it. But once you can infiltrate it and make it better from the inside, then that's a great strategy as well.
Go out there, collect something amazing, and if you don't have a library card, and this is the excuse for why you finally get one, then we've accomplished our mission.
There will be 100,000 of these new cards available at all LA City Library branches while supplies last. At the LA Central Library in downtown, Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
The LA City Library system has 73 branches to choose from. Well, city leaders gathered to remember a dark period in Armenian history. Getting around downtown LA may soon get a lot easier, and a neighborhood in South LA gets the beauty treatment. All these stories in City Beat. LA Mayor Eric Garcetti, LA Councilmember Paul Krikorian, and the Armenian community came together at the Armenian Genocide Monument at Bicknell Park in Montebello to commemorate the 101st anniversary of the Armenian Genocide and to bring awareness to the new threats being faced by the Armenian people in Syria.
But we're also here to make sure that our country steps up to protect people who are facing destruction even today as we speak.
Los Angeles has been a place of refuge, not just for Armenians, but for those fleeing genocide, war, economic deprivation. It's who we are as Los Angeles, a place that breaks walls down, not builds them up.
LA Councilmember Jose Huizar took a ride on a Metro bicycle recently through downtown LA to promote a new bike-sharing program coming to the area this summer. The city has partnered with Metro for the program, which will bring more than 1,000 bikes to 65 stations by 2016. For a fee, residents, commuters, and tourists will be able to borrow the bikes to get around downtown. They'll also be able to check out the bikes at one station and leave them at another.
It's healthy, it lessens traffic, and here we go. If you don't have a bike, you can come to downtown LA and explore the beautiful downtown LA, the new downtown LA.
Council District 9 community members, in collaboration with several city departments, including Board of Public Works, held a resource fair and tree planting event at Manual Arts High School on Vermont Avenue. Several nonprofits were on hand offering their services to parents who also helped plant trees. LADWP officials say the new trees will make a big difference in cutting energy use.
The trees reduce the heat. They will reduce the air condition bills for our ratepayers because the heat will go down. And DWP benefits because we get to meet our 20% energy efficiency reduction goals that we have to meet by the year 2020.
A new exhibition is unveiled near the Wilshire, Vermont train station, connecting not only commuters but the community as well. Rasha Goel has more.
It's really great that they're trying to combine that, all the artwork in here. I feel like that should be done everywhere because it's so important and crucial to people's lives.
Paige Emery, a Los Angeles artist, is among other artists whose work was recently unveiled at the Art of Life Connected exhibit in Koreatown's Wilshire, Vermont residential complex. She was the first place winner of a competition that was open to artists locally and globally.
The painting is called In Transit. It's a picture of my friend in the subway and a metro bus is going right by her and everything's kind of moving at the same time. And it's kind of about, just being constantly on the move.
250 applicants applied for the competition and submitted their 2D or two-dimensional work. Of that, 50 winners were actually chosen, and their work can be seen and highlighted throughout this area. Another artist, Casey Salas, whose Ciclavia photograph won him second place.
It's amazing. It feels like a stepping stone. This encourages me to keep with photography and submit my work other places.
The contest celebrates the city's diverse cultures. It's also part of an ongoing effort to connect the city's neighborhoods and residents.
For them to have an environment that is enriched in people that care about the looks and aesthetics of this community is very, very exciting.
Art is important in every atmosphere. It's very kind to people. It's very calming. It's inspirational.
And if you feel like owning one, well, these great pieces are also on sale. In Koreatown, I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
Officials say the Art of Life Connected exhibit will be open to the residents, retail tenants, and the 25,000 people that walk through that courtyard. While the LAPD recognizes reserve officers for distinguished service during its annual gala. This year, a pair of classic TV cops joined the list of honorees who've made a difference in people's lives. Here's Gil Reyes with part 3 of his special series on the LAPD Reserve Program.
LAPD Chief Charlie Beck helps to honor outstanding men and women from the LAPD Reserve Corps. These are sworn officers who protect and serve as volunteers, mostly in between their real jobs.
400 men and women served Los Angeles Police Department as reserve police officers, and this is just a small way by which we recognize their enormous contribution to public safety in this city.
The Twice a Citizen Awards took place at the Avalon in Hollywood. It's hosted every year by the Los Angeles Police Reserve Foundation, the Reserve Corps' main financial support since 1984. Carla Amundsen is the foundation co-president. Carla's husband, philanthropist William Amundsen, also happens to be a reserve.
They have the exact same training as a regular police officer, but they volunteer their time and they put their lives on the line to help protect the city that we all love.
You know, most of the reserves work hard. They spend a lot of hours and there's no pay. So you do it out of the love of the job.
Reservist Michael Hagan, a retired full-time officer, was recognized as Reserve Officer of the Year for Emergency Operations and Specialized Divisions. Also honored, actor Kent McCord. Though not an officer, the actor co-starred on the classic television drama Adam 12. McCord's portrayal of a dedicated LAPD officer put the department in a positive light and influenced many viewers to join the force as full-timers and reserves. McCord's Adam 12 co-star, veteran actor Martin Milner, was honored in memoriam. Milner passed away in September. And LAPD Chief Charlie Beck received this year's Friedman Award for his support of the reserve program. Chief Beck began his career over 40 years ago as a volunteer LAPD reservist with the Rampart Division. At the Avalon in Hollywood, Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Proceeds from the dinner help fund equipment and other expenses for the Reserve Corps. Well, a new play hits a high note in East LA. One of the most popular artists in electronic dance music will get your heart pumping, and they are ferocious and unextinct at the LA Zoo, and you can now see them in all their glory. All this in this week's Things to Do. Boyle Heights will be the setting for a Cinco de Mayo celebration on the east side of Los Angeles as Brown Fist Productions presents East Side Heartbeats, a new rock and roll musical. East Side Heartbeats tells the fictional story of Jimmy Ramirez, leader of the four-man vocal group the East Side Heartbeats. The production, which runs through May 29th, will be presented on Casa 0101 Theater's main stage. The theater is located at 2102 East 1st Street in Boyle Heights. For more, visit casa0101.org. The New York Times may have called him the new face of electronic dance music in a recent profile, but Ryan Radin, known as Cascady, has been in the trenches of the EDM scene as an original recording artist and in-demand DJ for more than a decade. He has created chart-topping remixes for everyone from Lady Gaga to Beyoncé and has performed between 150 and 200 headlining shows a year for the last 10 years, building a name for himself as an innovator of the EDM scene. See him live at the Los Angeles Convention Center on Saturday, May 7th. For more, visit cascadymusic.com. A ferocious pack of 17 life-size, lifelike prehistoric creatures have debuted as part of Dinosaurs Unextinct at the LA Zoo, a new exhibit produced and presented by the Greater Los Angeles Zoo Association. These animatronic dinosaurs, brought to life with electronic brains, take visitors back in time for a colossal adventure, providing a rare chance to discover a lost world from millions upon millions of years ago, while warning about the very real threat of extinction faced today by many endangered species. The exhibit is open now at the LA Zoo. And that's a look at some things to do. Well, that's going to do it for this edition. I'm Yana Kay, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thanks for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacitybeview.org. You can also follow and like us on Facebook. We'll see you back here next week for more of LA This Week.